Here's a great small change, big difference project if you have a high ceiling but you're struggling to find some ready-made curtains that are going to fit. You'll need curtains, thread, scissors, curtain hooks and a sewing machine. Okay, so some basic maths now. Now the height that I need the finished curtains to be is 265 centimetres, and that's taken from the underside of the pole to the floor, so that's my overall drop. The longest pair of curtains that I have, by the time I've taken the heading tape off, is 220. So therefore I need to add on 45 centimetres from the second pair of curtains to the top of that to give me my 265. Now, added on to that, I'm going to do a flop over top. So I'm going to cut another piece from the bottom of the second pair of curtains with a hem, which is 50 centimetres, which will be just enough to flop over and cover the original seam at the back. Right, the first job, when you're absolutely clear what you're doing, is to cut the tape off of the first pair of curtains. From our second pair of curtains, I'm going to measure 45 centimetres to include the top head, which will then be attached to our first pair of curtains to give us the overall length. I'm also going to cut then our second panel of 50 centimetres from the bottom, and that will include the bottom hem, and that will then become our flop over top. Rather than measuring all the way across the width, if you have the confidence to do so, then just fold it back over and you'll know that you're always cutting to the correct line. So that's my two new tops at 45 centimetres cut and put aside, and now I need to cut the two bottoms with the bottom hem at 50 centimetres. Right, now the sewing bit. Okay, so this is the top of the original pair of curtains where I cut the heading off. So I'm going to be attaching the new headed piece from the second pair of curtains to that piece. So you put the good sides of the fabric together, and then we're just going to run a line of stitching all the way through the top. So it looks like that. Okay, so that's a new piece attached to the bottom piece, and I'll go back and tidy up the hem in a moment. Now for the flop over top, we've got our hemmed bottom piece there, and this needs to be attached at the back of this curtain. So we're going to run another line of stitching like so, and then once that's stitched, it will flop over the top. Last step here is to pull the heading tape up, and then we can hang the curtains. The clever bit with this is that as you gather, the flop over top gathers with it, which is nice and easy. Generally you want to allow a curtain hook and therefore a curtain ring for about every 3 to 4 inches of the width of the pole. Even out the gathering, so it's the same all the way through, and then ready to put up. So there we are, our bespoke curtains that frame the window beautifully, and a small change, very big difference.